Hello. Today we are going to find out the difference in culture between Malaysia, Germany, Sweden, and Japan. We have interviewed people from Germany, Sweden, and Japan for their insights of their culture and their opinion. Every year, the World Health Organization publishes data about major causes of illness and premature death, WHO, 2003, and so, what is the difference between the healthcares and how citizens of these different countries reach out to it? In Malaysia, the availability of One Malaysia clinics give access for people to get health care in the big towns. It is also affordable for only RM1 each session. Not much can be said about suburban areas. In Germany, Sweden, and Japan being the first world countries, they have the access to best health care and medicines. But similar to Malaysia, places outside of city may be lack of these resources. For mental health awareness in Malaysia, the citizens are not really aware of the seriousness of mental health care. Thus, almost half of the population are suffering from depression. In Germany, advertisements and media has been circulating news about mental health to create awareness. Counseling sessions and mental health treatments are also covered and paid by the state. In Sweden, welfare is given to whoever suffers from mental health issues. However, people who have mental health issues are still seen as weak and incapable. In Japan, there are no discussion about creating awareness of mental health at all. Because of this, the number of psychologists and mental health clinics in Japan are very small. In cross-cultural psychology, conflict resolution is one of the most vital fields for research applications, Shirev and Levy, 2004. In terms of negotiations in Malaysia, Malaysians always have their meetings during meals to foster better relationship. And their decisions are always made of trust, so for close business partners they rarely use contracts, just verbal confirmation. For Germans, to show their best side they always appear very professional and take very short time in making decisions when negotiating with people from another country. If just between Germans, they are very relaxed and friendly when communicating. For Swedes, they can easily adapt to people's different culture as there are vast culture in Sweden city. They are very open and workers are able to voice out their opinions if there is any disagreement. For Japanese, it takes time for them to make decision because they want confirmation from each one of their workers. They have the habit to overthink about what people say. Similar to Malaysians, they also have their meetings during meals to feel more comfortable with each other. According to Furnham and Bachner, culture shock or culture-relative stress is defined as a set of complex psychological experiences, usually unpleasant and disruptive.
I've lived in Dubai, but I did get a cultural shock there, in a way. They have different customs than the countries asked of in Malaysia or Asia, really. But there are different customs to what I know from Europe as well. Stuff like the gowns that the women have to wear, or the white robes, but the fact that it's like 50 degrees outside. There's also stuff that people don't recognize immediately. And despite the fact who you talk to, they all have a very relaxed attitude about work. It's all very leisurely when it comes to stuff like that, and that kind of bothered me actually. Like I worked in Germany and then I come to Dubai and suddenly it's all like, hey, you don't have to work, let's just sit down and watch a show or something. It's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave an hour early today. It kind of bothered me because it showed me that people don't take their job seriously, and when you have a job, then then usually in services they rely on you to do your job so that they can do their job.
I went to Akita and we were visiting her grandfather, and when we left, I hugged him because that's what you do, right? I mean, you hug everyone in Sweden, really. Like, you've met them once, you've talked to them for 5 minutes, but you still hug them because it's seen as politeness. And everything just got so awkward, and I was like, have I done something wrong? And my friend was like, you don't hug people in Asia.
I can have like political discussions with people back home, or like I can talk about race issues and feminist issues with people back home in Sweden. It's like normal, you know. But here in Japan, I feel like the youth isn't knowledgeable about what's happening in their country. Like, they don't really talk about politics, they don't talk about gender discrimination, all these issues, like societal issues that are happening in Japan. The youth don't talk about it, which was also one of the really big shocks for me when I moved here, because I'm not the most politically well-informed person, but I have my opinions and I like to talk about them with my friends because that's how you learn. I just like to talk about issues because, you know, like we're the youth and we need to talk about our problems, because otherwise it doesn't get better for the future.